Hello and welcome to Dell's Gaming. I'm Dell and this is Dell's Astronautical Space Center in Kerbal Space Center. So, the way we left it, we're still doing some testing, ready for our taking people, paying passengers into space. What I'm going to do, just check, is see if there's anything come up on the contracts just that might fulfill our requirements for the moment. Orbit around Kerbin, so that's 4, and we've got 4 days left for that. We've got this visual survey, not worried about that for the moment. Test the radial mount parachute, which we are doing. Kerbin flying altitude 20 to 22,000. See, that's a bit high, I've got to say, for these parachutes, I think, but we might we'll take that one because we are using those, and so 20 to 22,000. Okay, I'm going to accept that one because we might be able to use that. And what have we got here? More ferrying of passengers. Let's see where they wanting to go to. Kerbin, suborbitals. Oh yes, we can get lots of flyby Mun, flyby Mimbus Mun. Yeah, and there's good money to be had on all of those. And what's this one? 2 people, suborbital, orbit round Kerbin, orbit round Mimbus. Yes, some more good possibility there, but yeah, okay. How many? Which one's got better? I think this one that's got 3. No, it's got 4. Is going to be a better use of the contract. Oh no, we've got more than enough contracts. Okay, so which contracts can we now work on? We can get these suborbital ones sorted, hopefully, and the science data around Kerbin. Okay, so that's 2. Hopefully we've got to get. So we've got to get into actual. Oops, sorry. Science data from Kerbin. We've actually got to get into orbit, or into space at least. Anyway, with our system. Okay, so let's go back out of here. So I had a bit of a review of where we were and what we were doing in our vehicles and our thrust. So if we load up, I did start creating another one, but I think the last one we used was the APTest II, and we had an imbalance, and what I've done is I've removed the flight recorders and just redid everything on the top. There was something on the top was just unbalancing it, and this had a 2100 2200. We got an AP highest of 43,800 with this. So now we're looking for something that's going to get us into that 70,000 plus range. So I think I did come up with a new vessel that I was thinking. So this is it's just got some more tanks. I removed the flight data, put the thermometers a little closer. Now we're looking at 2,700, so this is quite a significant upgrade in our thrust potential, and it's also got these the nice winglets on there from our system to ensure we get hopefully a better grade. So we're going to give this one a test. It's still not got a Kerbal in dock, or we have. Okay, I'm going to take him out, because we're also going to test the radial item, the radial at that 20,000 height. So we're going to launch them a little early. So okay, first thing to do, let's see, Reliant engine, yes, then releases that stage and then releases the parachute. There was one other thing I'm going to test on this, and that is recovering our bottom section for fuel, so it's better usage of fuel. So what we can do is actually put some parachutes, if we get these right, onto our bottom section. We've got to put them in as a pair. Just put them in. We'll put them in centrally, actually, just to make sure. No, actually, we can put them on about there. I think. Let's go for there. See how this works. And these parachutes we need to separate out. So which one are we needing? We've got two sets of parachutes here. We want them actually going at the time of separation. So it's separate. It's just. Do I get a choice as to the order of this? There we go. So that should separate and launch these parachutes, which hopefully might recover it and allow it to be reused, therefore reducing the cost of our launching. So we're trying to be effective on fuel usage, but we're also trying to be, you know, have this semi-reusable. We haven't got a shuttle, so all we're going to have is the cost of fuel, hopefully. So let's take this out. Let's save this, and then take it out to the launch bay, and let's see what we can do. Now, I've got to remember we might do the experiments if we get above the high enough. Right, so we're ready on the launch bay. Let's get myself lined up. So this is still going to be fairly stratospheric. The trajectory is going to be ballistic. That's right. Let's go full throttle. So we're going to try and just go straight up. This is just a height test at this time. We'll give it a slight easterly direction if we get above 10,000, if it starts to go right. So 3, 2, oh, that's doing it. Hang on a second, that's changed around the other way again. Maybe I can't change which order this is. Yeah, okay, I think they're going to go both at the same time anyway. Right, you ready? As long as it's not this one, it's definitely that one, isn't it? Yes, okay, let's see how this goes. Right, so we've got, where's my Kerbal engineer? We have no engineer information here because we don't have that flight recorder. Okay, going a little to my right. So, yep, the Kerbal engineer. Obviously, possibly we need the one or more of those other bits. So I'm giving it this little right here. We're getting up to 6,000 feet. It's fairly stable. I'm having to give it a slight right hand just to keep it in line, but only a little bit. It's fairly much going straight up. So we've got 13,000, but as I say, we don't have the flight recorder on here now, which is we're missing. Contract, oh dear, oh yeah, that was from previous. Let's get rid of that. How are we doing? Let's see, we're just about empty there, so that's going to be at 34,000, and we've actually gone into an orbital trajectory. Right, we'll pull that off and hopefully those will deploy. We'll keep heading for that there, see what our actual eventual height is. If we go to the M, we can actually see what our AP is going to be 189,000 according to this. It's coming down. Now, did those other bits recover? It's still going up at this time. There's potential it didn't recover properly, but we'll do our own our own one here. Where's that one that we've got for the rockets? Okay, test and decoupler. Okay, we haven't done that. Trying to find the other one. Fly by the man. No. Okay, we can go and do our science. Let's just locked. Okay. Observe materials. Keep the data. Observe goo. Have we got anything from that? Yep. Keep the data. We should be able to get some thermometer readings. Log the temperature. Keep the data. Okay, so we then can't close those, because closing them effectively negates it. So what was our highest? We're at 148,900 still at the moment. Let's see what our AP is aiming to be. 189 still. So that's 189,000. So this is a good suborbital trajectory. Right, we'll just put our. Do you want to do that? Let's see V. There we go. So we just put us into a auto camera again. So excellent. So this is a good thrust. 189,000 at the moment on this 2,700 AP, but this is still not orbital. This is just height tests and getting that data, but this could be fine for our orbital trajectories, which would be fine. We'll see, we're actually now we are effectively in space. Now we have got these other atmospheric areas, so we could I think collect data at those additional altitude levels. Now I'm going to just looks like we're heading towards apogee, so we can just say 188,000 meters. Okay. Now, so this will be fine for, actually we can mostly take a little bit off here to do our suborbital, but we're going to try doing some other bits on here, and I can't find the contract for the let's just go, actually before we go, let's make sure that if we go back to the Space Center, I can come back to the ship in a second, and I'm going to go to the our tracking station. There we go. And that way I can always come back. Oops, that's not actually where I wanted. I want to go to the R&D and see why, if we did or did not take that. So mission control I want to go to, see if we did or did not take the one for the, that's the stack separation, active, test that, science data, available, I thought we did that, we must have not able to take it. Something was wrong, or it's already gone through. Okay, we may have done that on the rockets when we did those. Okay, what we need to now do is go in here, enter, and go back to our pod. So if we go in here, we go to the APTest IV here and double click it, and it should take us to the ship, and we are now controlling the ship again. So okay, I thought we had an extra one for the things, so that means that's good in some ways, because I haven't got to worry about doing that specifically at that altitude. So let's just speed time up. That's a little too fast. Don't want to miss my altitude here, my option to launch. Now landing close, a little bit away, so we should really do a slight easterly burn here, I think, in the future, just so that we stand a little bit closer to our system. Now we're still up fairly fast here, but we've got the heat shield working, so that's a nice bit of re-entry. Now I'm turning those thermometers off because they possibly cause a bug, some memory loss. 5,000 feet. I'm missing some of the Kerbal engineering information. I do like having that. But our height is about 200. I'm going to go for the deploy of the parachutes. Excellent. Just go a little bit closer to the ground. Come on. Last little bit, last little bit. So I've got a good descent rate there. Just take it down to 0 and last. There we go. And if we now recover the vessel, see what science we got, and did we get that little contract? I'm guessing we did. As I said, I'm missing the one for the other one with the parachutes, unless it took it with the other stage. So let's see, we got 43 science for that one single journey. For the materials return, 25. For the mystery goo, 10. Temperature sensors, 8. So all in all, that's really good. Parts. Let's see, we've got all of those back. Science Junior heat shield, stay put Nick, 2 hot rechargeable monopropellant ablator. Okay, it's not saying anything about the other units, but we'll see, we might be able to recover that. And done. Okay, so let's have a look around. Is the other, there's the rockets. If I go there and recover, it actually put money back in. So I think that possibly did work to recover those items, because they're debris there, they didn't blow up, in other words, which means they were usable by us and recoverable, and we could possibly save a bit of money there. So 352,000. Excellent. Contract complete. Science data, excellent. Oops, I can turn that one off, put that in the bin. Okay, so let's, next little journey, we are ready, and we've got a good height there, 188,000. Right, now our next aim is getting a lateral speed relative to Earth orbit, so due east, of 2,250 meters a second. And that is the velocity we will need to obtain to be able to get into orbit. So we're going to start doing this, but we're going to make sure we stay orbital. It's going to be suborbital, but we will go into space slightly. So that's going to be our next test. So we're going to modify, and we're mostly going to take a passenger along on some of these passenger missions now, just to clean up some of the particular contracts we have. So let's load up our test 4. So the only bit we got is that we were not able to get data for the Kerbal engineer, and which is annoying, but you know, if that's a limitation, that's what we've got to go with. Now what I can try doing is adding one of the items that gives us that information, because it's from Mech Engineer, and my view is that real world you would have something giving you this flight computer information. So I don't know what the difference is between the Kerbal Engineer here and the ER700, but we'll put the Kerbal Engineering system in, I think, and we're going to put this in mirror mode, and we're going to put it somewhere where it's not really going to have Right, where did that put it underneath the batteries? If so, that's cool. Let's just see if I just take that battery off. No, I'm not sure where that put that then. Where did it put it? Maybe it didn't put it on there. Let's have a look at our parts. We've got 14 parts. Where's our hatch obstructed? Okay, so the hatch is obstructed here, which means that people couldn't get it out if they wanted to. But that being said, I'm not worried about that because no one needs to be getting out. Okay, but I still want these bits here. So okay, I'm going to put them. That obviously didn't work. Get rid of that, or it did. I'm not sure where it put it if it did work. They don't seem to be there. Okay, let's try this again. Right here, we'll put them on this there. That's mirrored. Okay, and we'll see if we gives us the Kerbal Engineer data, but not the MechJeb. So hopefully we'll get some information this time as we're going up and down. Let's see. Now, fuel-wise, what we're going to try is just basically putting a bit more fuel in. Oh, I've just thought we can have a big change here actually. We've got 90 resource. So before we go, let's save this under, this will be ready to go to 5. Save it. Let's go and see what we can spend our science on for this next level. Okay, where's R&D? R&D, enter in. Okay, let's have a look what we have options for. So, okay, we have 90 points. So we could potentially, we're looking at one of these high level available parts, which not think space exploration. Oh, this one is an interesting. This is could put 4 Kerbals at the same time. Also the barometric pressure. Right, flight control. Winglets, inline reaction wheel is handy, but not at the moment. Aviation, not worried about that because we're not doing planes. I think I know which one it's going to be, but general construction. Strut will be handy. Structural fuselage, Rockomax branded coupler, adapter and the launch, don't need those. I think it's going to be the, so we get this extra fuel tank and the Terrier engine. Now Terrier engine is not good for takeoff. You can see the thrust values on there is only at sea level 14, which is terrible, but the ISP, the fuel usage 345 is the best out of any engine we've got. So once we're in space for doing in-space maneuvers, it's going to be very efficient. But the main bits we're going to get is, let's see, the further liquid fuel engine. Let's see what this one is. So that's 108. I'm just trying to see if what the advantage of this is. Thrust vectoring, very good thrust vectoring. 8 degrees, 3.6, but vacuum 120, 305. No, I don't see it, but the main one we do get here is this a bigger fuel tank, which has slightly better for its mass. Yes, I think we're going to be get basically more fuel for weight, so we'll research that for 45 points. Right, okay, that's on. Now what does it lead on to? We've still got 45 points. Heavy rocketry, so that's going to be even more stuff. Excellent, and even more boosters. Propulsion, fuel ducts, which will be we don't need at the moment. Okay, so now we've got between these two what we can use. We've got 45 points left. And what were we talking about? The inline reaction was, I'm thinking this one, which is going to give us the stability enhancer, which is great at launch. and the possibility for going for larger decouplers soon. Yeah, I think we're going to need these stability anyway. Yeah, I think we're going to need that stability, so let's go for that. Okay, back. So next job, let's see what we can do. Use that new we can't use the new engine, see what we've got, but we have those new fuel tanks. So what we're going to do is, actually let's just separate this off, is we can separate the engine system, maybe take out we'll redo that section. Okay, so we're looking at, take out that, right, 2000, we'll try 3 of these. Engine, we will again use the Reliant because it's got a better takeoff thrust from sea level. So this liquid fuel one is one to basically go on the edges, so you could put these as additional small engines on the side, on an extra stage, and we were going to put some, we'll put we'll put them into mirror mode. Now we got slightly, or actually slightly down on thrust on where we were previously, actually here. So right, okay, what we're going to do is we'll just try something slightly different then. Right, okay, we will do the winglets because they worked very well. We'll do 4-way on those. Excellent. Right, so what we need is a little additional power. Now we could either do it with more liquid fuel, or we could put some we can use these radial decouplers we've got here. Just making sure, see what other chains we've got. Okay, we can put 2 of these. If we go to mirror mode there, and that's not quite aligned. Let's just don't worry about that. This is not aligned correctly. That looks better, and also these. That's not quite central. That looks a bit better. Okay, no, that's gone 4. I only want 2. That's a little bit better. Okay, so what we're going to look at is a couple of thrusters. Now, what I've noticed with thrusters, we'll put that into mirror mode, so we just 2. What they do is they're good at the surface. So if we look at these engines, they're good for initial thrust, to basically get you through that initial stage of acceleration. But that's about it. You know, they're not gonna help you longer than that. You know, they are purely for that initial launch. The liquid has a long life, i.e. it keeps on, it's effective through that, past the initial thrust deep into space. So what we can do here is we can try a couple of hammers. So we were at 2600, so if we put a hammer into this radial system here, that gives us a total of 3160. Okay, we're going to do that. So what it's going to do is give us an initial heavy thrust, 3160, to get us accelerated off of the launch pad. And just because we've got this now here, we're going to just look at putting a little bit of stabilization in, and whoops, let's try that again. Oops, that's not working. Let's just turn this way and do that. It's obviously not wanting to do. Let's do that, take that off, try that again. That's better. Right, so we're stabilised there, and then I think we can, no. I thought there was a way of just doing this down here. Okay, that's... Okay, we'll do it a slightly different way because that's a little too far higher. So if we just grab the top of our craft and take it down a little bit. Now, okay, the reason for this stabilisation, now there was, I read somewhere, I'm watching on videos, there was a bug where when you start having multiple rockets, sometimes your vehicle gets stuck on the launch pad and doesn't actually take off unless you have these decouplers. So, right, what we're going to do here is sort out our staging. So, we're going to have the liquid engine and the two rockets initially give us thrust up. They will then decouple. So that can go into there. Then next stage is going to be the liquid the liquid fuel. Turn it off. Will fire to its maximum and then decouple and let the parachutes deploy. So the parachutes hopefully bring down the liquid fuel section on this. Let's have a look at our engineer. Right, our engineer says severity is hatch obstructed. Okay, and electrical charge stored. Okay, possibly with saying we haven't got a possibility of not enough electricity on this. Not to worry about batteries. I think we'll be enough on this to get through. I'm not sure. Electric battery pack has to show more. Cost 8. Electric charge. Oh no, okay, that's fine. I'm not sure what that's moaning about. Okay, so parts 31 out of 30. So that's the only downside here. Our parts is saying too many parts. Mass 16.4 tons, which is not good. Now our thrust to weight ratio, if we're looking at this now, is let's see, stage 3 is going to be at 6, and then stage 2 is 5.32. So okay, now I think what we're going to do is we're going to actually upgrade at this center. We're going to save this, and so that we can complete this, we're going to upgrade our center so we can basically build the bigger ships. Because there's lots of little things we want in the ships, not necessarily big rockets. So if I right click on here, if we upgrade, we can have ships up to 255 parts. So that's done. It's cost a lot of money, but we're just about to get a whole load of money from putting people up into space. So we are going to put on, let's see, I think the first one was Jinga. Where is he? This Janig here is going to be our tourist for this particular launch. So that is going to be a hope that it goes right. So we're ready. If we do a launch, now we're going to give this a slight easterly connection. I want to see about getting distance. We're going to take it up vertically. Let's just make sure our staging is correct. That's correct. Fire, and they fire. Yep. Then release the hammer boosters. Yep. And then finally release the engine's boost. That's fine. Okay, we have the flight engineer now here because we have put on that the CPU board, which I find great use, because obviously we can then tell what our heights and verticals are on this various areas. Okay, so power up to maximum. So as I said, we've got to get ready for a turn slightly to our right. So on here it's a easterly direction. We're also going to get ready with our map. So this is going to have what our periapsis etc will be. Let's just try and think which is the best way to look at this. Right, so we're going to be heading out to sea. And I want to be able to see a little bit what sort of height we manage, as also we're going for distance on this, because we need to get our speed up relative to the ground and orbit. So we're getting ready for a orbital velocity. So I'm going to set this on orbital straight away, because this is the speed we want to increase. But there is a bit of we'll go through as we get closer on AP, that you want your time to be steadily climbing but not too fast towards your AP value. But okay, we are ready for launch. Are you ready, Janig? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, launch. Okay, so I'm giving it a very slight amount to the east straight away, just so that gravity will grab it and start pushing it over. Our solid fuel is done and released. Our AP is still at 12,000. Now I'm going to get here an observation. Keep that, and also goo. Observe. Can I get the temperature on? Come on, am I going to get the temperature? No. Oh, I'm just going to miss the temperature, aren't I? Come on, get in there. Get in there. Temperature, log temperature. Oh, I did it in the next area. Okay, I might have to do that in the plane. Okay, I'm moving over. We've got periaps apogee now of over 85, so I'm coming back on my throttle a little bit, and I'm basically, whoops, I need to move over to the right. There. Okay, so this is a terrible actually, as far as I'm doing it too much. Okay, but we got 237,000 with that. I'm separating that before it gets too high. That should go into the kit atmosphere and be pulled down. Okay, our passenger is now going to go for a wild ride. I was worried so much about the science, I forgot to check the actual aim of that mission, which was to try and get height and get onto the orbital velocity. Our orbital velocity was 1,300, which is not a good test because we didn't really get into a good angle on that. Our height was 237,000 we're going on this, so in that regard that is a record for us. But we'll repeat this same mission one more time, just trying to concentrate though this time, instead of on science, on actually the test we're going to do. So let me go back here and we will zip up the time on this, time warp a little bit on here until we are back in. Hopefully Janning's getting a good little ride on this. Right, he's coming back. Let's slow it down a little bit. Yeah, fun, isn't it? Yay! Right, we got, so he's, see, actually it doesn't say he's actually got to survive, but I think not surviving would be bad. We only got 3,000 for it, but it's more the factor that we've done it. I'm going for the reputation and other bits is important here. Right, I'm not going to deploy yet. Good there. Good entry burn. We're stable on our entry. Turn off the thermometers. Speed coming down towards the 200 mark, which is where I'd like to deploy my parachutes, just to make sure. So as soon as it reaches 200, there we go, we deploy. I'll speed up a little bit just so we get onto the ground. Yes, he's looking a little worried now. Don't worry, you're safe. You're safe. You'll be okay now. Parachutes did deploy okay. We have a nice soft landing for you. Just get rid of that there, because you don't need that anymore. Excellent. Right, we'll recover that vessel. Thank you very much. So that was a successful tourist flight. Got him up to space. Looks like we got a good 17 points of science, which is also really good on that way up. We'll try again at that other height. And also we got some debris, just recover that. That gave us a little bit, and we've got some here, recover. So recovering all of those just helps a little bit with the money. I don't think we'll have any others anywhere. We'll just check our go into the tracking station. Now we're a bit down on fuel in money. Let's see, any other debris around? Where's our place? I think this is where where we are. We're supposed to be there, right? No, I think everything came down. We've got this one, that's from the other imploder from some time ago, that's displaying. So we got these other ones either burnt up or we recovered them. Okay, let's see, contract complete, ferry a VIP to destination. We've got 21 reward, good, and Jangis travel complete, excellent. So that's good. Next we got another person that wants to go into space, and as I said, we're going to just do one more trip with this same ship, same tester. Let's see, we're going to try though to get a good turn into space this time. Now there was what was the little problems I had there? Those thermometers are a little difficult to see, so I'm wondering if I can put them up here instead so I can get to them a little easier, so I can see them and use them. I don't see any reason why that shouldn't work. So I put them just there. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. See if they work there. Because I don't want to not have the opportunity to do them. Now I could, I think, take off these rechargeable batteries. I'm going to test then we go up next time. I can see how our electricity is. Yep, and we can see how that works. Right, let's get a new person that wants to go up here, tourist, and is it Podbert? Let's have a check on our Podbert's travel itinerary is a suborbital flight, so let's go for Podbert. Excellent. And in fact, what we should be doing is looking to see if there's one which we can do. I don't think there's one that's 4, so that's just ferry 2 tourists, ferry 4 tourists, 3 test rocket brand. No, okay, so must be this one with 2 is most probably the next one for us to try and get sorted. Okay, so we're ready for another quick orbit around the moon. Don't want to do action groups. Haven't got into action groups, so we'll have a look at that separately. So let's just check our staging. Fuel, power, release with the rockets, release with the parachutes, then final parachute. Okay, and get science. Now we're going to go for the science at the other section this time. Let's go to the launch bay. So this time when we go up, I'm going to try and catch the thermometer, get a temperature reading in the light, this blue zone, and the experiments in the darker blue, and we'll see if we can hit those and do the goo in the same ones as well. So we should be ready. We'll do that after initial launch. Right, let's get everything ready. Make sure we're in the right place. Staging. Check the staging. Just last double check on staging. That looks correct. Throttle is at maximum. That looks fine. Our Podbart looks like he's ready for anything. We'll get our map view ready so that we can see where we are going and what sort of altitude we get, etc. Now on this one we want to keep the AP close to 80,000 or 100,000. I want to see how far we get with 100,000. I'm going to put it on orbit here so we can see our speed, but I want to, when we're doing the other things, I want to plan for a launch system that will give us a launch into a 100-kilometer orbit. So that's where that's what we're testing for. Okay, right, ready? Are you ready, Podbart? 3, 2, 1, launch. Immediately a slight little bit to the right. Our atmospherics are good. We've got a good burn going. Giving it plenty to the right, but I'm not getting much control on this at the moment. First stage gone. Giving it more. We have full power. Moving to the right, got my full on easterly. Right, we're in that level where I can do a thermometer reading, hopefully. Log that temperature. Oh, we've already got that one. Okay. Right, we're getting over, we've got 38,000 on the heat on there. Right, we're at that temperature. Get that. Okay, nothing's there to be done. Observe. And observe. Right, we'll cover that and we'll cover that. Right, we're on an apogee of 89, 90, right, 95,000, right, 100,000. I need to now aim effectively at the equator. We were a little bit high on that there. Our AP is 196,000. What's our maximum speed? 1614. That wasn't a great let's see, orbit speed. So I'm making a note here. Orbit speed. That wasn't a great burn from us. Let's see, what was it? 13.6. Oh, I missed what my orbit speed was there now. I was 1560, and we got a of 196 apogee. So I needed to turn over a lot quicker, but I was not getting very much response from the controls on that one there. I've got to say, it was being very difficult to try and hold it on the necessary angle to get that down. Obviously, I was concentrating on the science on some of that. Right, actually, we just make sure, see if there's anything else we can log here. No, there's nothing there, and I think goo we've already done here. Oh, 2.3, we might as well take it. A little bit of goo's better than no goo, so to speak. Right, so we're in space, low, over water. So this is another area. As we go around, you can get the different biomes as you're passing over them. So which is basically what's down. That's not really a cheat using the flight engineer here, because you can look down and see what the biome is, and you've got a map. So surely that's not really a problem. Right, we'll speed up time now. Let's get ready for re-entry. Right, don't go too fast, just as you come into the re-entry for the burn up, because you never know what might happen. Okay. Okay, coming down, turn off those thermometers. Looks like something was getting very hot there. It looks like it was the batteries, which is not really a problem. Deploy the them. Yeah, those looks like the batteries there were getting very hot. That's F10 for looking at the temperature gauges. Just put them on, and anything that got warm will show up. Okay, I'm not too worried about if the temperature, if they got a little bit warm. I could always put these batteries actually up on the probe, which I might do then. We might move them up there and put the temperature gauges down here instead, because they're obviously sticking out a bit, doesn't it? But I don't want to make this too top heavy. If you make it top heavy, when it's coming into air and space, it starts toppling and hasn't got that nice profile. So they're surviving. So in some ways, I'm thinking let's leave them where they are. It's not a problem as such. Okay, and we should get a recovery. Thank you. And let's recover our vessel. Come on, come on. So we got 27, we got 26 science out, or 9 science earned from that. That's better than nothing. So materials to study from Kerbin's upper atmosphere. So I think we've done, and temperature, mystery goo in space. I think the rest of it we have already done, but we'll check. 125,000. We got. Let's see, let's just go through here first. Parts, got most of our parts back, which is good. Some of it, obviously, we didn't get fully back like the ablator would have used, and obviously we don't get the fuel back. But we got 125,000, and we got some good reputation, and Podbar got some XP, which is great. I don't know what he's going to do with his XP, because he's not exactly becoming a thing. But here we got landed 1 part 3 stages. Okay, we got something back there, we might as well recover that. And here we got 1 part 3 stages, recover that as well, gave us some more money back. That's possibly from the stages we put up there. We'll just make sure there's nothing. Did we leave any debris in space? Let's have a look. No debris in space according to that, apart from the one we know about. That's good. So another successful tourist mission taken part, and some testing of our systems for putting people into space. So we still have got some ones we can still complete. Now some of these are going to be now getting a full orbit. So we've got some more suborbitals to fly around here. I think suborbital, orbital, suborbital. So there's a few more suborbitals to run. Yep, quite a few of those. Test the Rocco Max, which I'm not worried about at the moment. Anything else we've got? Right, explore the Mun. Well, we're going to take this one. It's not got a limit, but it's very good prestige, and it's obviously something that needs to go along. So, but it's going to be recovered from the surface of the Mun. There's going to be a couple of places we have to get scientific data from, and we get 75 as an advance, even if we don't do it. So, yeah, we'll take that one. Test the Thud liquid fuel engine at launch site. Okay, that's worth taking, just because we can try it out, and it's cheap money just for a quick test. What have we got here? This is another orbiting which we can wait. We're not worried about that one. TR stack landed. Okay, this one is at one. Check one landed, which is, oh, we're full up now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we've got to do the Mun and the Rocco Max to make some more room then, by the looks of it, which is fine. Okay, so we now know what we've got to do. We're going to do next time. We're going to test that thud liquid engine whilst on the ground, and we might actually just see what it's like trying to see if we can take off with one. Why not? Actually use it in a proper ship. What else have we got? Then we're going to take some more passengers up and try and increase and see if how our ship is at trying to get that orbital trajectory correct, trying to hold that 100k. At the moment we're having problems with not stabilization, with directional control. Now I've got there's two choices. One is change the engine. I might change the engine to the one with the gimbal and see if that gives us a little bit more finer control, but it might give us less thrust, so we're going to have to modify it to ensure we keep the 3 or 1000 or above thrust. So excellent, but otherwise it's a good little test. Oops, 2 choice and a destination solar floating curving complete. Okay, that one's done. So that's another one done. Right, so does that mean I can take on that other one? Hang on a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, it's obviously it had already removed it. Okay, sorry. Okay, I'm doing all this testing here where instead of just looking it up in a book where someone else has already done this before, if you're saying, oh, you know, why am I doing this testing? It's part of the game, and it's part of seeing and also testing for myself so that I know how to obtain an efficient orbit, rather than just powering up there with lots of money and big engines. I want to do it on as small an engine as possible and as efficiently as possible. So we're doing a little investigation on what is the minimum and how to do it on the 4000 Delta V. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed it. Leave any comments below. Until next time, have fun.